Hello and welcome. We're the Bitches with Beards, and we love to talk all things culture.
On this podcast, we chat our top 3 cultural moments of the week.
It's the Cultural Three-Way. I'm Daniel.
I'm Max. We saw you from across the bar.
And we really love your vibes.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh,
Trying to put headphones on while doing that, and everyone's Day's Day. We just come from a lovely lunch.
We did. Lovely lunch at Les Dep, as we do on rare occasions.
Rare occasions, yes. I ended my job, my consultancy job, which we also I had a vague rant about the term consultancy
yes.
on the way back. But no, we had a very nice lunch. Daniel took me out for lunch and it was delicious. And I still got half a sandwich actually because I did a long run today and I know that everyone's like, you should eat, but I do eat a bit, but it takes a while for your body to
have hunger.
Hunger.
I had all of my steak frites and loved every
Very
minute of
nice,
it.
actually. I nearly stole some of the juice at the end because it was like, ooh, that looks lovely.
Oh, it was good. I treated myself to a steak.
But we met and we got to the restaurant. Despite I couldn't even sit down, we had a message from our landlord going, I can't get into your place to keep working on the deck. So I had to walk all the way home, and I think I grumbled and groused, to quote Hairspray, all the way back, and then came home, and then it was like, okay, now I can take a deepish breath. But it was very much on brand for the last.
It was on par with the conversation we were having. I was like, oh, okay.
And
the funny thing is, so I was going to pass the time by having a martini, ordered it, and literally it took until you got back, essentially, for them to come back with the order. And I was like, well, that was a waste of 20 minutes.
Yes. No, I thought at least I could leave you with a chance to sit there and catch one's breath. But no, it was... But yes, no, you had a weird week. You said some weird energy in your office.
I don't know how much I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah,
but like,
I know you're very limited.
There was a car keying and there was a fire, not to my vehicle or anything like that, but it was just like people were fired, tensions were flaring on all ends, things were changing constantly. But then it was also a little bit of an up and down because I didn't tell you this, but friend of the podcast, Kit, delivered her baby yesterday.
Where to?
Well, in Atlanta, she delivered it to. So she had a lovely, healthy baby girl, all of 6 pounds, and I forget the ounces, but...
Well, a wee one.
Yes, a wee one, but Mary is in the world, so here we are.
There we are.
Mm-hmm.
When you plan to visit?
Maybe later in the summer, but not right now.
Yeah.
We just want to get her back home and settled, because she's like, it was so weird, because she had a C-section. She's like, I was awake for the entire thing, and I'm like... Oh no.
Yeah, my mum was awake for mine.
I was like, oh no. I could not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, better you than me.
That's exciting though.
Yeah,
congrats.
it's very exciting. But yeah, so the energy has been up and down all week. Like, I don't know whether I'm coming or going, to be honest.
Yeah, same. It's been... Yeah, I was wrapping up the jobs and... had a couple of other bits to do this week as well, but next week is pretty much off. I'm
good.
So I'm sure there'll be a couple of like questions about some things, but no, it's going to be. Yeah, I don't know. And it's one of those I've already started doing the math on. Like, I want to do this, I want to do that. So I wouldn't mind hitting, like we said, the Air and Space Museum. I wouldn't mind doing natural history and a bit of the art gallery, and I want to do some writing. And then I was like, oh, that's kind of the week gone, you know?
Yeah, it's like I've run out of days at this point.
Yeah, I like to do like in the middle of the week. Tuesday I'll do like a long run, which will be nice. Get that done, but then also I'm like, oh, there's the week kind of.
All my days have been planned.
And,
oh no!
Oh shit! So I wouldn't mind watching. I was tempted to do a George Lucas Film Festival, but we shall see.
I think you should do that. Why shouldn't you do it?
I know. Why shouldn't one?
Could you do it Sunday or start it Sunday?
Sunday, yeah. We'll start. I'll see if I can find THX anywhere. But I don't think that's easy. I think American Graffiti's on Netflix. I could be wrong.
Maybe.
I'm
not going to swear to it, but maybe.
No, maybe it's first free. But anyway, Daniel. That's enough personal use. Let's move on to the foreplay.
Let's warm up. All right. So my foreplay for the week. 2 cooking items for my foreplay, and then 1 television series. So I made, the first one was mujadara, which is essentially lentils, basmati rice, onions, and then spices such as cumin and paprika and a little bit of cinnamon and turmeric. And so it makes a nice yellow, robust dish, and you add a little bit of honey into it.
Delicious.
It's good. I would like it spicier, so I'm going to have
Yes.
to figure out how to add a little bit more heat into it. However, my second dish, I made the viral Korean shaved carrot salad this week. That has a lot of heat in it.
So why is it viral? What sent people over the edge?
Every influencer seems to be doing that because they're like, you can do this dish in like 5 minutes, and you can do it in 5 minutes. Like, it's very simple. You shave 4 carrots, and you essentially add soy sauce, a little toasted sesame sauce, and then a little bit of rice wine vinegar, and then you add some garlic paste, the hot chili garlic paste. Delicious. And it comes together like really simply, and it's just like, you need a little salad, just add that. It's wonderful. Highly recommend that. Television show of the week. The 2024 The Count of Monte Cristo with Sam Claflin. Excellent.
Who did that one?
Sam Claflin actually executive produced it. Here's the thing. That is my favorite novel by Alexandre Dumas. Like, I love that one. They changed a few of the plot points, but the beats were still there.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, oh, suddenly this character was alive and they weren't supposed to. No, like they kept all the major beats. They sort of changed the ending just a tinge.
Yeah.
And it was one of these that it changed it from something that was problematic in the book, but I feel like maybe we didn't have to change the ending like it did.
Yeah.
It was like literally the last minute, but you know, everyone had their downfall like they were supposed to have, so I was happy and content at the end of the day. It was very good.
I've seen I might have seen an adaptation. I know the story because did Guy Pearce do a film a few years back?
I think so. Yeah, I think more than a few years back. I think like a decade ago. But yeah.
I think it was longer. I think about 20 years ago. To be honest.
Yeah, probably so. It's a perennial good one. Jeremy Irons was in this one.
Yeah.
Playing the Abbess. It was like I said, really, really good. And Oscar from the Gilded Age is in it.
Oh, nice.
As Dunglier, one of the villains. So it was really good, actually.
That's excellent.
Yeah. So what about you? What was your foreplay for the week?
So TV, we finished off Ted. That was excellent. It was really, it's such a funny series. I know it's probably as PC as, well, anyway.
It's not.
But it is unlikely they're going to do a third season because of the expense of doing it.
Well, yeah, because you've got to
completely CGI teddy bear.
Yeah.
But it was brilliant. I would love for there to do a third one. They did kind of end it in a way. I don't want to spoil it, but there's an end. The ending like feeds into the movies in a really funny way, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense how they got there with that. Yeah. But no, I really enjoyed that. We've been watching A Diplomat. We're a couple of seasons behind, I know, but we kept seeing clips on YouTube, and I was like, okay, this looks really good. We are both West Wing fans, me and the Hubs, so it was like, okay, let's give it something a bit juicier. It's all West Wing meets House of Cards, but obviously far more likable people. You're kind of rooting them.
Yes, that was the issue of House of Cards.
Yeah, he was wholly unlikable, and even her in the last season kind of went off on a little bit of a journey.
Yeah, she wasn't necessarily likable. Yeah,
but no, we're really enjoying it. So, and actually, like, I can tell that because we're watching it. Usually, like, it'll be starting from about 10 o'clock at night. If we're getting late, we don't tend to put like something heavy on. But actually, it's just I don't. It's very engaging. So I'm kind of good of this one. Movies Surat, which was one of it's a French-Spanish movie set in Morocco.
Yes.
I can't say much because the lovely Britt and Christina, that's Big Ginge, had seen it, and it was nominated for Best International Movie, and they'd mentioned they'd seen it, and the only reason they mentioned it was because they'd literally seen it like 5 minutes before the ceremony. And they watched it at home, and they said, "Oh, it's really good, but don't read into anything. Just go in completely raw." Okay. And I was looking for movies this week, and there was like that Undertone one out, but everything else I'd seen. Yeah. And I was looking at Alamo, and I was like, "Oh my god, Surat's on." Okay, I'd seen it on there for a couple of weeks. I didn't know much about it, and I said to them, "Guys, do you recommend?" And they said, "Go and see it, and if you've got the fact you can see it at the cinema with the sound, go and see it."
Right.
I highly recommend the sound. the weirdest film. And actually, when I was at my little leaving drinks last night, a coworker I had just met, but because the office is like small, she came along with us, and it was lovely. And she said, I saw that, and at the cinema, and we had this really weird conversation because we couldn't say anything, and we were like, you know that bit in it, and that bit, and they're like, and she's like, because she was like, yeah, no, you cannot go into it knowing what because happens, it just will take you on a very trippy, hedonistic, almost ethereal journey.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you, if I told you that and then told you actually what it's about, you'd be like, I don't understand. What film are you describing here?
Right. Two different things. Yeah. Okay. I understand.
And she said, and we were like, but it's bleak. And I said, yes, it's bleak in a way that you're not prepared, but not. And she goes, I still wake up in the mornings thinking about this movie. And she goes, you're the only person I've been able to speak to about it. But I highly recommend. But anyway, that was Culture Us, but we want to make sure you're taken care of.
Now it's time for the top, the bottom, and your lucky Pierre.
So, Daniel, who's your top, who's your bottom, and who's your lucky Pierre?
Well, I thought I was going to do this differently, but I am going to start at the bottom. But really, I feel like we're winning and we're on the top. So there is trouble for the Sussexes of Montecito, as apparently they're on the outs with Netflix, as their $60 million deal has begun to sour. As after 6 years, they have yet to produce a scripted content as they promised in their contract. I read that and I reread it to make sure I read it right. And I'm like, what? Okay, carry on. Yeah. Apparently, sources inside Netflix have leaked out that their content that they have created is viewed as repackaged and tired, especially Megan's 2-season show that she recently produced that had rave reviews of the honey that they couldn't give away. Literally.
I kind of had to be like, I can't help but not see the irony of their content being tired and repackaged when all Megan does is take tired foods and repackage them.
Literally. I'm going to take a washcloth and put some, twine on it and then put a sprig of lavender in it. And it's like, honey.
Our Meg did it a lot better and a lot funnier.
Right. So anyways, to be determined, if they pull the contract, it's going to go to litigation. So we'll see how that pays out.
Just pay them the fucking money and have them move on.
Right.
Sign over all their stuff, all their businesses to them, and let them do it.
Yeah. I'm just like, okay. But I am going to, for my top, I am going to keep it in the family, and that Burberry has announced that they're launching a brand new collection in commemoration of her late Queen Elizabeth II.
Lovely.
It is going to be a 4-piece collection, including a brooch, a scarf, I don't remember what the 4th piece is, but also a driving coat. And just so you know, I'm a size large. I'll take it for $3,000.
You have to take it at the store, running very fast.
It's a very lovely green.
Is it nice though?
Yes. Yeah. It's a nice quality. I'm like, I would wear that. I would wear that.
I ask because you see these things, you hear about these, and then you actually looking at, oh my God.
It's like, I wouldn't be caught doing that. No, I would actually wear this. The scarf, I'm a little bit like, maybe, because I think it's got a corgi on it, like a big corgi.
Oh, not even like a little subtle detail.
Yeah, no, I think it's got a big one, but like the coat, I'm like, I would wear the coat. I'm like, I probably shouldn't, but I would wear that coat. Anyways, this seems to be time to correspond with the retrospective that is opening in April at Buckingham Palace that was going to run until October, which is highlighting 62 years of the Queen's fashion.
Lovely.
Yes.
So what is your lucky Pierre for the week?
So my lucky Pierre for the week, we're sticking with fashion, and we're going to talk the Oscars for just a little bit.
Yes.
It was delicious. It was divine. And I'm going to say this. I wasn't disappointed with anyone other than one outfit.
You were. Now, can I just say, just generally, because you were talking about this, and I have to let you speak. The Oscars this year seem to have a focus on its energy going to excellence, not drama. Yes. And when I say drama, obviously drama on the screen, but I felt like the energy was so well used.
Yes.
There was no stupidity, and I think that is reflected in how you're describing everything.
Yes, I'm going to say, for once, I was looking at the best dress, and I was just looking at the general members as well. There were no missteps. There was the one misstep that happened was obvious, and we'll talk about it in a moment, but it was just like everyone else had it put together. They knew what to wear, how to wear it. The colors worked well with them. The cuts worked well with them. The material worked well with their bodies. It was sheer perfection. So what I do want to talk about was the fact that because it was fashion forward, we'll say with the Oscars this year, it was the perfect promo for The Devil Wears Prada 2.
Yes.
So there was a moment where Anne Wintour and Anne Hathaway both come out, and they lean into the bit where Anna is like, "Oh, Emily," talking to Anne Hathaway, referring to the assistants in The Devil Wears Prada. Let's, give this award, but I'm going to say this. She missed an opportunity to say, "Oh, florals in spring." how
they missed out because
trivial.
she went, "What do you think of my dress?" And she went, "And the nominees are,"
Right.
which was funny. But if she
Right.
said "Floral spring groundbreaking,"
that would have been like more of something to do. But we'll give Anna that moment. But it was very good. I'm going to say Anne Hathaway embodied one of the themes that I saw this entire time, which was florals that were on top of a black print. So
yes,
Anne Hathaway, Rose Byrne, let's see who else, Tanya Taylor to a degree.
they looked comfy as well.
Yes, they looked comfy. They looked great. And the dresses were mermaid cuts or trumpet cuts. Like, I feel like that sort of helped with it. Like, the drama could happen with the train and the tail, and it didn't have to be up at the top, so to speak. Let's see. Some of the other themes that came out were sparkles. Jewel tones were in. White with the right hint of sparkle. So, like, think of Elle Fanning in a vintage. Elle Fanning was in vintage Cartier.
Yeah.
Like, it was very elegant, but it was, like, just the right hints of sparkle on the chest going down towards the waist. It was sheer perfection. Let's see. Some of my best dressed of the night was Gwyneth Paltrow in her nude Armani Privé. Oh, it was very nice.
Yeah.
The side cut. Let's see. Tanya Taylor had a very form-fitting Swarovski and mermaid train. It was vintage Chanel. Demi Moore and Gucci with her feather number. It was feathers that were in a jewel tone. They were nice green. And there was an upsweep on one top, and they were going down on the butter.
It was a bit... It could have gone a bit Disney Princess Sorceress, but it worked just for her.
Right. I mean, it works with... Demi Moore has a very sharp features, we'll put it that way.
Yes.
And it worked for her. And yes, it could have been like, I am the evil queen.
Yeah.
She didn't quite broach that territory. I think that she was a step away, which was good. Also, Kathy Bates looked amazing.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing.
But her hair, it was made by her hair, I felt, a lot of it.
Like, I was just like, she's had some good, looks, but I was just like, bravo, Kathy Bates. Like, this was divine.
I also think if Kathy Bates is that she's lost a lot of weight, but she's at a very healthy stage with it. And I think her face looks healthy and her figure looks healthy. She's got a curve. She's an older lady. I'm sorry, she cannot be skinny. Like Jane Fonda gets away because she's always been like that.
Yeah.
But Kathy Bates, she looks healthy and glow, and it shows. But her hair just was all beautiful silver hair, all done up.
Yes. And she looked happy.
Yeah,
and I was
did.
like, you wore happy, which as an accessory. And I'm like, that is something.
No, she stood out to me. I was like, oh, wow, you look really good. You look really good.
She looked really good. And another surprise for the evening was Simone Ashley from Bridgerton, but also from The Devil Wears Prada 2.
Yes.
She was in this stunning Swarovski number that also had this feather that was very much a statement piece, like on the chest. Didn't have to have any like necklace or jewelry. And it was good. It was very good. Now, the one miss for the evening was Chloe Zhao, who was in a black number that looked like she was trying to cosplay as one of the Addams Family members. Like, it was bad.
There's a joke about it that leads actually into my bottom.
Oh, it was a bad look.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try and forgive this. Like, Bjork wouldn't even wear that. Like, it was not great.
There wasn't a Bjork this year, though, was there?
I would say Chloe Zhao was the closest thing to a Bjork moment. Like, and it seems to happen, like, if there's ever one Bjork, there's more than one Bjork, and like there's a debate, but like it was just Chloe Zhao that was just like, oh dear, like that one was unfortunate. So yes.
So I have to ask you, Daniel, the award season, Mara Rose's favourite of the seasons, has ended. Who really has stood out for you? Is there been, and there could be more than one, but who really has like jumped out at you? Whether it's like someone that's kind of come up from nowhere and just kind of gone, I'm going to own this.
So the consistent one for me this year that I have liked their looks every single award show has been Tanya Taylor.
Yeah. I was about to say she's the one for me in my head.
Like, she has consistently nailed it. She knows her body. She knows her figure. She knows the material. She knows her lighting. She knows her poses. She knows what colors to wear.
Yeah.
And she has owned it every single time on
Yeah.
the runway.
I
And
would
I was
say.
just like, chef's kiss.
To the point that Timothée Chalamet now has her haircut.
Yes. But even she's wearing it better than he does.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I would say she's been the highlight of it.
Yeah.
I think that she's, I know she's been, she's not her first movie. She's like, it's all that, but no, she's definitely worked it. It brings me a lot when I'll go and talk about the Oscars, especially as I feel that it's reflective in that the awards were distributed in a way that I felt everybody got the snaps they needed. And even though, yes, she did not win, but she and her, have you seen the viral thing of her and Amy Madigan cheering on each other?
Yeah. Yes.
Is that I felt that even though, like, Amy Madigan got it, she got the Jamie Lee Curtis, let's face it, it's more about the legacy as well. But Tiana Taylor, she came out of this as just someone everybody's watching. I think she must have 1,000 off. I mean, saying that, then you find out later on that it is horrendously racist and no one's offered her a job.
Right.
But she definitely has been a red carpet darling. She's given some attitude on the red carpet. There was some stories.
Yeah.
But I think that has not come out of this award season empty-handed. But I would definitely agree with you that I think she's been the diamond of it.
Oh, she was definitely this Queen's Diamond for the year, for this award season. She knew what she was doing when she was on that runway.
Yeah, perfect.
Yes. And how about you? What is your top and bottom and Lucky Pierre for the week?
Well, they did say that they think Chloe Zhao had basically dressed up as a mourner for the loss of her Buffy pilot. So this the bottom this week is that Sarah Michelle Gellar has revealed that the Buffy reboot is dead. It was at Hulu. It's very sad. Chloe Zhao was going to produce and direct the first episode. It was not a remake of Buffy. There was going to be like a legacy sequel. SMG's basically turned around and said she thinks that that basically it was not watched by the producers. One of the execs has then turned around and he said it's really not for him. I've read a little bit behind the scenes. Apparently, like they felt there could be more Buffy. They wanted to do a reboot, have more Buffy, even though she was only going to guest really in it.
They wanted more of Buffy.
I'm very surprised considering the strength of the property that they've given up on it like this. I think there's going to be a lot of finger pointing. It's a pity. I think there's a lot of legs to it. And I think they said that they couldn't really, because it was a network show that is coming back as a streamer. There's a different feel. Yeah, I don't know. I think they needed to know. I'm going
to say this. As many network shows that I watch on streaming, like I feel like you can make it work.
Yeah, I think they could have. It sounds like they needed to kind of work out the balance, though, with everyone. My top of the week is that talking of Devil Wears Prada, that Michelle Williams, Vanessa Williams has extended her run again.
Yes.
So, because my mum keeps messaging me, goes, if you heard she's extending, you can still come over and see her, because she's been over there a year now, which is she's her West End debut. Yeah, and I think it's still going forward. She's there till October 17, but it's going till February 6th is when the closing of it now. So whether or not that
will extend again.
Mum, it's interesting is that the Brits love it when people come over and just love our culture, and I think this is why Michelle Visage has done really well. She's on a advert for Marx's and her nipply bits, and she loves that, and people just love that absorption. And I think Vanessa's gone down well. She's always been popular in England, which has been known, but the idea of this woman just coming over, just wanting to stay and keeps extending and wanting
stay a little bit longer.
Yeah, and especially our beloved West End. So I would love to see if I can get over and see her. Whether I'm probably not going to happen, but it'd be nice
to try.
But no, that's very exciting. And Lucky Pierre is the Oscars. It has been the third in our relationship for the last few months, so that makes sense. I stand by what I kind of said, is that I think it was a very good Oscars. It was actually quite gripping. I think that we had people over who, Alyssa and John came over. Alyssa always loves, we watch it together. And she goes, because you're the only one that knows everything,
Because you watch every one of them.
And then Mark was there and like watching me do like the fingers going, oh God, you're really into this, aren't you? I'm like, yes. Yeah.
This is my sports.
So ultimately, like, yes, Sinners did lose out to One Battle After Another. I love Sinners, and I think it's an excellent movie, and it's really hard to talk about it in the sense of I think there's a lot of resting on, the fact there's a lot of race issues going on. But One Battle was a better movie. I think Sinners was an amazing concept, which is why I think as an original screenplay, it deserved that script, and for Ryan Coogler to win for his screenplay, which was a celebration of his concept, is great. And it's the same thing to be said of Michael B. Jordan winning for actor.
Right.
But as
twins,
director and best movie, it was going to have to be One Battle After Another. So it was just an expertly made movie. In my opinion, both were, but there's a level of it. So no, I kind of agree there, and I see Jessie Buckley winning for Hamlet.
Yes.
Again, I was like, is she going to be? I mean, it was by that point goes without saying that she was going to get it, but we didn't know.
But she had swept every single awards leading up to it. Yes.
No, and it's it was overall good. Some amazing moments. Let's go back into Sinners. The Autumn Durade Acapel. Won for cinematography and was the first woman and black person to win that Oscar.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yep, that is nuts. Her son was whisked down. He was about in the back, and they got him down to watch her collect it. Sigourney Weaver came on in an excellent with Pedro Pascal, because they're going to be in The Mandalorian together, and Grogu was sat next to Kate Hudson, in which Sigourney Weaver went, "You get away from him, you bitch." It was an absolutely brilliant moment. And in the fact
she looked stunning.
She looked stunning. Everyone looked stunning. Kate looked stunning. Gold looked stunning. Kurt looked humdingly handsome, as always. One of the craziest moments was that the Oscar for Best Short Movie was split into two, making it the longest speeches out of, ironically, all the movies, even though it's the shortest win. Conan was on fire with his comments. Absolutely, at least we arrest our paedophile. It was the Brit statement. No, he was. There was a lot. It was political. It was really political, and a lot of jokes, especially around the best documentary moment for Melania.
Yeah,
much deserved. Well, don't make a documentary about picking out shoes, I think was one of the comments.
Fair.
It was a brutal night for Marty Supreme. I'm not going to turn around and really blame Timothée Chalamet. I think that people pointed out that most of the voting had been cast by that point.
Yes.
And I think that Fran Drescher actually was the one that came back with the biggest bit of insight into that one, in because she plays his mum in it. And she said he's a fantastic actor with a fantastic career ahead of him. He'll learn. He said the wrong thing. He said he'll know in future to either be careful during interviews or maybe do less interviews. But he will learn. It won't derail his career. He'll come out with a little bit more perspective. Fran Drescher, perfect.
I was going to say sage advice from Fran.
Sage advice. Just maybe watch your mouth, essentially. But hey. And then really, on that note, then you had the wonderful Misty Copeland come out during the performance of the Sinners song.
Yes.
Ballet. Looking amazing.
Yes. It was a vintage dress. I am blanking on which ballet it was from, but it was a vintage outfit that she was wearing.
Overall, a fantastic night. I wish Train Dreams had got more snaps. Me and Daddy Frank I've been talking about that a lot on his Rules of Cinema podcast. But no, apart from that, I think it was gripping enough, not too much drama, very focused. I'm quite frankly on the strength of filmmaking moving us forward through this really shitty time. And with that, Daniel, let's move on to the end of the episode. What is going to be culture for you next week?
Culture for me next week. I think the cherry blossoms may actually finally bloom, which will be their own special little bit of hell for us here in DC. So
yes, we won't be going south of the mall for a while.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't go south of K Street, really.
Well, I guess I might as well just stay at home and watch movies.
Fair enough. I'm going to go wander through Capitol Hill tomorrow.
And with that, Daniel, then I think it's time to end this beautiful episode. All the awards to you.
Yes, I'm Daniel.
And I'm Max. And thank you for being our third this week.
Cheers.
A big thank you to everyone for tuning in to Daniel Max's Cultural Freeway and for giving us a listen.
Don't forget to rate, subscribe, and review, and follow us on the socials.
You can find us under Bearded Bitch Pod or Bitches with Beards. Please remember that only a mother could love our views and opinions, and they reflect us and no one else.
We'll be here next week, unless we're cancelled.